latest on Monsanto and Bayer?
Well, Bayer have been talking to Monsanto, and Monsanto said we want more money.
Oh, really?
Yeah, really surprising. So, yes, Bayer have upped their offer by $17 billion. So they just found that from somewhere, and their offer is now $60 billion for Monsanto. But I see Monsanto's just been awarded a green environmental award for their company internationally. So that could be worth another billion, couldn't it, Rob? I don't know how big the New Zealand economy is, but I think this particular deal is probably bigger than our entire economy.
Absolutely, absolutely. Now, speaking of nasty crawlies and things, aphids.
Yes, Rob. With our warm autumn we've had, the aphid numbers have multiplied extremely quickly, as you can imagine aphids do in warm conditions.
Oh, I remember you telling me that they can be born pregnant. I mean, that's...
Yes, alive and pregnant. Yes, exactly. Yes, so they're very versatile little creatures, but certainly the levels have been extremely high. And FAR do some trapping and do a baseline looking at 2005 for one, and then the average over the years. And 2005 was a very bad year for barley yellow dwarf virus in wheat crops. And so our big concern this autumn is the numbers that have been out there. They will start to drop down as it gets cooler.
Yeah, we've had a few frosts now.
Yes, we have indeed, but they can live under snow, so they don't just die in frost, they just slow down. And things like wind and rain, they will really hammer the numbers. But farmers should be vigilant if their wheat has been up for quite a while, and some of the seed treatment that insecticide they've put down with the seed will be running out of puff now. So they need to be looking on warm afternoons under the leaves of the wheat, and if there's aphid there, there's a real chance that they could be injecting this virus with their feeding process, barley yellow dwarf virus, which can be quite devastating. So you spray them. Yep, yeah, you do it.
How's stock grain? Because it should be coming into its own.
Well, grain for stock food specifically, Rob, it's cheap as chips at the moment, and it's high powered, and it's a great thing. It's concentrated. It's dry and warm when the stock are eating it. You can imagine a cattle beast or something, or sheep eating a cold, wet turnip. Well, that in itself cools the temperature down of the body of the thing or animal that's eating it, and that takes energy to warm up. So grain is dry and warm and concentrated and easy to store and easy to feed, and it's very, very high powered, of course, with the protein and the starch, sugars, and fibre that's all in it. And it means that things like grass seed straw and barley straw can be added to something as powerful as that. Give it a bit of bulk. Give it a bit of bulk just to fill them in. And of course, the absolute energy that's required in chomping and walking or chomping, and they don't have to walk very far, the chewing of grass seed straw and barley takes energy in itself. So not so much when you're getting a concentrated thing like barley or wheat in. So it has plus, very few minuses, and farmers should be really looking at grain at these sorts of prices.
With a bit of straw in there, it makes it sort of sound like chaff.
Well, it does, and yeah, chaff with the oats in it, with quite a few oats in it. So yeah.
Sounds good.
Way to go.
Seed certification.
Seed certification. Yesterday, actually, was close-off date for red clovers and change of cultivar. And there's quite a few farmers that have been growing overseas multiplication white clovers that just need to check if they're moving back to Huia. That becomes a change of cultivar. So the rules apply. But there's quite a bit of white clover to be grown this year by the look of it, and so if you're going to change cultivars, your close-off date was yesterday. If you hurry up, you might not get a fine or a penalty, and you can do it online these days with
everything. You can do anything online apparently.
Yeah, with the Seed Certification Bureau, and it's also closing for turnips and rape as it yesterday. But they used to allow a delay for farmers to catch up. So if you're very, very quick and do it online, you may not get the penalty.
Great. Very, very briefly, we should look at spraying of clovers as well.
You're spraying your clovers this time of the year, and young clovers, looking at things like Preside, a very gentle spray with Quantum, if there's field pansy in there, is an ideal thing. Or if the paddock's got hair grass, we need to be looking at Curb in these cold, wet times of year. It's one of the best for taking out hair grass, and things like Rumex, which is sheep sorrel, the best for that.
And hit your lucerne as well.
Yeah, look after your lucerne at this time. Take the grass weeds and flat weeds out of your lucerne, and think about fertilising that, building it up, because if you're carting the lucerne off the field, there's an enormous amount of nutrient goes with the lucerne off the field, and they do tend to be overlooked in terms of being fed with fertiliser. So look after the lime as well.
Exactly, Dennis. Thank you very much indeed.